Welcome to the Popcorn Junkies. So we're reviewing a film called The Little Things, and I wanted to review this because I saw it pop up. I am a fan of Denzel Washington.
I am a huge fan.
Huge fan. I'm actually a fan of Jared Leto. I think, you know, when he was in, was it Dallas Cowboy, whatever that, Dallas Cowboy Club? I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in that. I didn't mind him, even as the Joker in Suicide Squad. And it also stars, and I can't say I'm a fan of Rami Malek, but I am fascinated by him. I mean, I'm truly fascinated by him.
Yeah.
Like he's a strange specimen of human. I'm fascinated by him.
He's like a chameleon.
And obviously Rami Malek won the best Oscar, didn't he, for Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
For playing Freddie Mercury.
But that was different in a way because it was an impersonation.
Don't say that.
Sorry.
People get very. It wasn't
impersonation.
Well, I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that. A lot of people didn't know.
It's a
procedural police
procedural
thriller.
Yeah.
But it's a neo-noir crime thriller. That's what I like about it. And I went into this kind of hoping it was going to be a sort of not perfect but thought-provoking B-movie.
I thought that's exactly what it was.
And I got precisely that.
Yeah.
I bizarrely went into this thinking, I can't bear the thought of seeing Rami Malek on screen because he's so strange.
Yeah.
And I found myself gravitating towards him more and more. This curious man.
Person, yeah.
Acting in a curious. Anyway, before we get to that, so it pivots around Denzel Washington, who's he's a policeman on the beat.
He's a cynical ex-policeman.
Yeah, he was a previous detective, wasn't he?
He was, and obviously something which we're never quite sure what bad happened in his life.
Well, we do find out what bad.
Well, we do. Right at the end.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so he's pushed out into the hills, and then by a pure fluke, he's sent to LA.
Yeah, to pick up some evidence actually for a case that they're trying to solve.
Yeah, and in the process of that, he gets
hooked back into the police force that he was in.
Yes.
So don't forget. So he's kind of gone back. You know, he's essentially been put out to pasture. Yeah. And he's sort of just doing the beat, and then he goes back, and he's old, he's had a heart attack, he's got heart disease, he made some clear mistakes in this earlier case.
Yes.
But he's liked, he's well loved.
Yeah, he's very well liked and very well respected. That's the point.
Exactly. And I have to confess, I didn't get bored at all just watching Denzel Washington shuffle from scene to scene.
I never do. He can almost do anything with it.
He's the boy, isn't he?
He is the boy.
I do like him.
Yeah.
Although he's a man. If there's a sort of thematic beyond the noir, thrillery, kind of all that sort of stuff going on, it's also a film about the trauma of being a police officer, isn't it? Because essentially the reason he's in a mess and the reason he fucked up in the past, we learn, is due to a really huge error he made in the process of trying to solve a serial killer. So you've got all the right ingredients here. You've got serial killer, you've got Jared Leto, you've got Denzel Washington, you've got Rami Malek's eyes just kind of going absolutely nuts.
The thing was, I knew about Jared Leto and obviously Denzel. I did not know about, what's his name?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek. And the first scene where we were introduced to him and we see him from Denzel's perspective. And I thought, oh my God, really?
Yeah, did you think, oh my God, it's Freddie Mercury? Yeah.
I started to really like him.
So did I, absolutely. And in a way, the reason I wanted to review this film was because very slowly, by the end of the film, I'd become a rehabilitated Rami Malek.
I had.
Advocate. Not that I was one before, so I'm not rehabilitated. I've become one because I was very, very harsh on Bohemian Rhapsody. And I thought there's a curiosity to the way no one else acts like him.
No.
It's very strange. It's a very and I kept wondering when they were doing the reverses, which is when you do the two shots looking one on the other, and Denzel, the actor, was there, because sometimes they have secondary actors sitting in sit-ins.
Yes.
Many scenes where you've got reverses going, and I could see Denzel, the back of Denzel's head, and it was Denzel, and I desperately wanted to ask him after one of these scenes, what's it like acting opposite this man who's clearly operating on a multiverse level? I mean, for example, doesn't he play the villain in the forthcoming Bond film as well? And he got a brilliant face for that. I mean, he looks really the part.
Yeah.
So anyway, parking Rami Malek aside,
you can't.
You can't. And so I tell you what I really like. So it becomes a bit of a cop buddy film. It's about their personalities as much as death after death after death happening.
Yeah.
They have their suspect, who they think is the serial killer, and their suspect is Jared Leto.
Yeah. I've just got to say something at that point, because the whole point of it is that Jared Leto, who I don't mind as much as everybody else seems to.
A lot of people you either really like him or really hate him.
Mark Kermode hates him.
Does he?
He hates him.
Why?
He goes off on one.
Oh, does
and
he?
people don't understand why. They say, is it just because his hair's long?
I hear he's very difficult to work with.
Yes,
I mean, he's an
I've heard that
absolute
as well.
nightmare on set.
Yeah,
apparently.
But the whole sort of thing of, as the film unveils itself, is that the weird one is Jared Leto.
Yeah.
But the weird one wasn't. It was the other. I mean, so in a way, Jared Leto had nowhere to go.
No, Jared Leto was out-weirded by the cop who was trying to get him.
And because there's a whole sequence which I won't tell you at the end, which goes on for about the last half an hour.
Yeah.
Where it's the two of them together.
Yeah.
And I became fascinated because the camera kept looking at Malek from the side. And he was thinking, and he was acting, and I was thinking, this is just fascinating. I could feel.
It's a really curious film to watch.
It is.
And in amongst it is Denzel, who, because of the strange circumstance of having Jared Leto and Rami Malek opposite acting in this film, Denzel acquires this position for the viewer of like a mate who's in there.
Yeah.
And you feel like reaching into the screen going, Denzel, are you all right? What are you doing with these guys?
Because he's also the most relaxed actor
He's
in
so
the
relaxed.
world.
He's so relaxed. He's very good. I thought there was some... Oh, and what I really liked was, obviously it does become a bit of a buddy movie, cop buddy movie. And when Rami Malek and Denzel... So Denzel Washington essentially goes back into his old police force. They end up essentially working together.
Yeah.
And what I liked about this film was they didn't go down the obvious route with all the obvious tropes of them not trusting each other.
No,
I thought
that's true.
In fact, it went the other way, and I thought Rami Malek did this really well. He really liked him.
Yeah.
Quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's refreshing, because then it was just about...
He was almost saying, teach me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that was quite a comfortable place, because you could argue, well, that takes away a lot of stress and sort of drama and sort of intrigue between the two lead goodies, if you like, will they get on. But in fact, what the film then becomes is, and he says, I mean, he does, I mean, you can either hate it or you love it when they actually put the title into the script.
Yes.
But, Denzel's line is, it's the little things.
Yeah.
It's
twice, in fact.
Yeah, he says it twice. But it's the little things in a crime scene that will give away the suspect or the motive.
Yeah.
And it's the little things as in, evidence. But it's also, the little things that one has to sort of attend to in terms of oneself and one's own recovery.
Yes. So it was a bigger thing than just what it seemed to be, that phrase.
The sum of its parts, interestingly, managed to make a really watchable B movie.
And to me.
Did it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were... I'm pleased, because I thought you were coming at it thinking, oh, what level of shit that was.
No, well, I mean, it takes a lot for me to be bored with a Denzel film anyway.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I like Jared Leto, and he gave us his usual weirdo.
Yeah, he put on a bit of weight, didn't he?
Well, yeah, and that was important. He was carrying a paunch.
He was carrying a paunch. He didn't look like a body fat one either, did it? It looked real.
No, exactly. But Rami...
his arc was good.
His arc was totally good.
Yeah.
And there are also some actually only one really cool sequence I thought where is it Denzel's following Jared? The car scene where he turns the car around and becomes a different... They somehow sped everything up.
Yeah, no, there was some really good cars. I mean, I'm not one for car scenes either,
there?
but there was some great sort of car-following car scenes.
Yeah.
And there was a great sense of... There were great moments of Jared Leto wanting to let Denzel know that he knew that he knew.
Yeah.
And that they were following each other.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really nice... It was a bit clunkily done in the end, but I thought the twist of Rami and Jared's face-off in the desert digging up where potential bodies were was good. It was intriguing. I actually think Jared dropped the ball a bit in that scene. He could have been a bit more... He needed to be a bit more...
He does drop balls, doesn't he?
He does drop balls.
He did with being the Joker. Yeah, he does.
But what I really like, what did you make of the ending? And this is a spoiler review. What did you make of the ending? What did you read into the hair piece that
I have to say,
he posted to him?
The
red beret.
I did. Well, it clearly wasn't the red beret.
Well, no, and we know it's not the red beret. So at the end, we have a situation where essentially Jared... the spoiler. So Rami Malek...
Well, except if you still don't know after...
Yeah, Rami Malek, having accomplished a wonderful narrative arc, having managed to shake free of the shackles of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Denzel's best friend.
He wanted... What's the song? I want to break free. He breaks free.
He breaks free.
With a spade.
Yeah.
And almost lops Leto's head off.
Almost.
And of course we're in a situation which we then discover at that point that the problem for Denzel and what he's been labouring under is the fact that in a an earlier crime scene where the serial killer at a crime scene that Denzel was investigating years ago.
Yes.
He accidentally shot
Yes.
the woman.
Yes.
Who could have been the serial killer's victim, but wasn't.
Yes.
So he was carrying that, and I thought there were some really interesting lines that he shared there when he was talking to the corpses. And I mean, Denzel talks to corpses on mortuary slabs.
Yeah.
But he talks about how if you're looking after their death, you are their sort of almost guardian angel.
Yeah.
You are
I
looking
thought that was
after them.
quite powerful. Actually.
I thought that was quite. Yeah, it was quite heavy shit.
It was.
That was sort of. And so you feel that, Denzel...
I must admit, I did not understand the thing at the end where she holds up the thing and...
Well, that was the bullet that she took out. What they called the sort of forensics... What the mortician was saying she was holding up the bullet to prove that Denzel had accidentally shot this girl in flashback.
Yeah.
And she said, I'll put her down as having multiple stab wounds. So they counted it as a death because they knew that Denzel had done it by mistake. And was trying to get it.
Yes.
And so you have this parallel happening where Rami has taken the life of someone before he can prove that he's the serial killer. So you don't actually get to the end of the film knowing if Jared is the serial killer or not.
No, you don't. Although we all do.
Well, kind of. But I mean, could he just be one of those weirdos who's just into all of those sort of stories? So when Denzel sends Rami the red beret, he's kind of saying he's kind of
code.
Well, no. Denzel knows that it doesn't come from Jared's place because he bought them.
No, I know that, and that bit is obvious.
So what he's
saying
to Rami is...
wasn't there a red beret in the thing anyway?
No.
Like a different type. I thought there was.
No, so the red beret that was sent... No, he just bought the berets. There was a red beret that was missing.
I know all of that, but I thought when he went into that little thing in Jared's flat...
With all the newspaper stuff.
Yeah, there was a little red...
No, I don't think so.
I thought there was. And then that's why I was so surprised when he opened it and it wasn't that type of beret.
Right. Well, I read it as... Jared Leto might have killed other people, but he hadn't killed the person they were looking for.
Oh, okay.
Or they were trying to solve the crime of. But what he was definitely saying to Rami Malek was, it's the little things again.
Yes.
So the little things of this. He was saying to Rami Malek, just live your life.
Yes.
Put it behind you.
Because he couldn't for a while.
Yeah.
He was just staring with his wonderful face. I now think he's got the most wonderful face out into the desert, not knowing what to do. I love him too.
He really moved me by the end. I was like really feeling for him. And now I'm a Rami fan.
I am too.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, well, let's give it a score. I'm going to give this a score first. I really loved. I enjoyed this despite myself.
I did.
There are obvious areas in which it's a bit clunky, but it's seriously a cracking little B movie.
I think so.
And it's well worth a watch. Denzel's very good. He's a naturalistic actor. He's very at ease. Yeah. He's a safe pair of hands. Jared Leto is brilliantly creepy and annoying. Rami Malek's odd, but brilliantly so. And the story is quite... If you want to dig into the story a bit more, there are good themes in there.
There are. Although, I thought it towards the end, and I love police procedurals, but there was a lot of clunky plot things in the end. Like Denzel going off to get coffee as if he would. And blah, blah, blah. Sort of stuff like that.
Would Rami have got in the car with him?
Exactly. But you can forgive it that because its heart is taking you to where it's taking you. The desert standoff.
The desert standoff, where he...
Chameleon,
want to break free.
Chameleon versus whatever you could say Jared Leto is.
So I would, in the end, give this 75.
Yeah, I'd give it around that too, and I thought I might even give it higher than that.
Go for it.
78.6.
78.6, Mum.
Yeah.
I love your decimal points.
I really like Denzel. I mean, Denzel can almost do no wrong for me. And what they did was give me Denzel, give me a police procedural, give me two strange actors, one of whom I could look at forever. I wanted to get out a drawing pad and draw him.
He is so watchable. I'm now excited. I tell you what I like about this film. It's made me very excited about seeing Rami as the villain in Bond.
Yeah, his accent was good, wasn't it? I mean, his accent didn't falter at all. Yeah.
It's just so strange.
It is very strange.
But it's won him an Oscar, so, who are we to comment?
Oh, you mean in...
Rami. No, in everything.
He's not who you would expect. But when the camera pans around and he's the main one, I thought, no, that's Freddie Mercury.
That's Freddie Mercury, It's a long road to getting rid of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
For more film and family fun, don't forget to click the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell to never miss an update.